watching our news for tonight. His Majesty the King stresses the need to stop all extremist Israeli hostilities against Palestinians. The Foreign Minister delivers a verbal message from His Majesty to the Syrian President on efforts to resolve the Syrian crisis and the situation in the region. And Israeli occupation forces commit 7 massacres against Palestinians in Gaza, killing at least 84 people and injuring 158 others. Good evening. His Majesty King Abdullah stressed the need to stop all extremist Israeli hostilities against Palestinians, warning that they could lead to a regional spillover of the conflict. During a meeting with the U.S. Congress delegation of the House's Committee on Appropriations held at Al-Husseiniya Palace and attended by His Royal Highness Crown Prince Al-Hussein, His Majesty reiterated the need to reach an immediate ceasefire in Gaza and Lebanon and to de-escalate the situation. The King warned of the repercussions of ongoing violations of Muslim and Christian holy sites in Jerusalem and called for bolstering the humanitarian response in Gaza and ensuring the flow of medical and relief aid into the Strip. His Majesty warned of the consequences of the continuation of the humanitarian crisis in Gaza, calling for maintaining support for international relief organizations to enable them to provide services and aid into the Strip. The meeting also touched on the Jordan-US strategic partnership and ways to bolster cooperation in various fields, with the King thanking the United States for its continued support for the kingdom in vital sectors. Over to Damascus, where Foreign Minister Ayman al-Safadi conveyed a verbal message from His Majesty King Abdullah to Syrian Bashar al-Assad. The message dealt with efforts to resolve the Syrian crisis and address its repercussions, as well as a number of bilateral issues and the situation in the region. Safadi also held talks with the Syrian counterpart Bassam al-Sabbagh on efforts to resolve the Syrian crisis, the issue of refugees, combating drug smuggling, and the dangerous escalation in the region. Jordan strongly condemned the Israeli forces' shelling of a residential area in Beit Lahiya, in northern Gaza, which left scores dead and injured. Foreign Ministry spokesperson Sufyan Ligda expressed Jordan's firm rejection and denunciation of Israel's repeated violations of international and humanitarian law. Jordan also condemned the storming of Al-Aqsa Mosque Al-Haram Al-Sharif by settlers under the protection of Israeli occupation forces. The Foreign Ministry spokesperson called on Israel as the occupying force to end all practices and violations against Al-Aqsa Mosque and to respect its sanctity. Under royal directives, a Royal Jordanian Air Force plane departed for Beirut to evacuate Jordanian nationals from Lebanon. Following the ongoing events there, the C-130 cargo plane, which was dispatched by the Jordan Armed Forces in coordination with the Jordan Hashemite Charity Organization, carried relief materials, medicine and medical supplies to support various sectors in Lebanon and help them overcome the difficult circumstances they are facing. Over to the Gaza Strip, where Israeli occupation forces committed 7 massacres against Palestinians over the last 24 hours, killing at least 84 people and injuring 158 others. Local health authorities confirmed that the Palestinian death toll from the Israeli onslaught since October last year has risen to more than 42,600, with an additional 99,760 others sustaining injuries. In Lebanon, 8 civilians and 3 soldiers were killed in Israeli strikes in a number of towns in southern Lebanon. Meanwhile, the Israeli military said about 70 projectiles were identified crossing from Lebanon into Israel within minutes today, with the country's air defense system intercepting some of them. Southern military zone personnel foiled a drug smuggling attempt using a drone from the western frontier. According to a military source from the General Command of the Jordan Armed Forces Arab Army, the border guards, in coordination with military security agencies and the anti-narcotics department, implemented the rules of engagement and shut down the drone inside Jordanian territory. That's it for tonight. Thank you for watching.